Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Glad you're along. We are guest hosted this week by Captain Inglis Glover. He is our expert insider reporter over in the Southeast region. He lives in the Carolinas and he does lots of great red fishing along the Atlantic Gulf Coast. This is going to be a lot of fun. Right now, we're turning it over to Captain E. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
It's time for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey folks, Captain Inglis Glover sitting in for Barry this week as the host of Fox Sports Outdoors show, and I tell you what, it is my pleasure as always to sit in for Barry. He's got some big shoes to fill, but we're gonna have a great time today. I'm bringing you down to an area that I love to call home, Georgetown, South Carolina. The incredible fisheries here from freshwater to saltwater, both inshore and offshore, are easily accessible. I'm standing here at the Carroll Campbell Complex right now, which is on the Sandpit River here. There's some incredible bass fishing, and over the last couple years, we've had a lot of the bigger bass tours come into town and fish. Well, we've got a real big bass tour coming. The Bassmasters Elite Series Winyah Bay Classic will be contested right here at the Carroll Campbell Complex. I tell you what, we're gonna have a great time. I've got the Pro 175 team here, my good buddies over at Marshall's Marine have supplied me with, and I'm going to put it in the water here, head over to an area in Winyah Bay that a good buddy of mine, Captain Fred Wark of Sweet Tea Charters, fishes all the time. I'm going to hop on his little shallow water skiff with him. We're going to head back into some water and look for some early spring redfish that'll be back there in those shallows. We also got some great reports from your inside reporters, but right now let's go back to the FSN studio for your weekly planner.
According to the Salooner tables, the best day to fish over the weekend will be Saturday. Conditions are listed as good, with the peak daylight time starting around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Expect the sun to rise at 7:04 and set at 7:53. And we just had a new moon this week, so evening skies will be mostly dark. We'll be right back with fishing reports from around the area. And I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Alton Jones to answer your Ask the Pro question. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate.
Fishing in Georgetown area during the early spring is probably one of my favorite times to get down here and target redfish. They're starting to move out of these shallow waters as the water temperature warms up, and they'll move into that spring pattern. But for right now, we've located some fish that are in some shallower creeks. We're going to slide up in here. What I've got is a Carolina rig rigged with a mud minnow out. We're going to have a great time. I know there's some big redfish back here. With South Carolina slot being 15 to 23 inches, most of these fish are going to be on the top side of that or even over it, and we're looking forward to it. This time of the year, again, these fish are in here. There's mullet, there's some shrimp in there. They're back there. They can find them in that shallower water that warms up quicker, and they're also able to get away from the predators such as the bottlenose porpoises back here. Come on, this is a nice stud fish for in here in this shallow. Tell you what, we're giving a good test to the old American Hero edition here. The Lew's rod, yes, what a nice fish. God, look at this redfish. Good old low country, early spring, cold water redfish. I'm gonna climb down here. Come here, buddy. That owner circle hook is in him good. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Tell you what, I didn't even have time to get my net set. Don't even have my net out here, so I'm gonna try and reach over. Boy, what a nice fish. There we go. We'll set him right here for a second. Get this circle hook out of him. I tell you what, folks, if you have never done battle with a redfish, you are missing out. Boy, it's in there good. If you don't think a circle hook will hold him, there we go. All right, what a beautiful, beautiful South Carolina redfish. I'll tell you what, again, early spring, late winter, the water temperature starting to cool down. We're back here in the shallow waters of Winyah Bay, targeting some nice redfish. We're gonna get this fish back. I tell you what, there's a lot going on in your body of water too. Let's go to a reporter in your area and see what's happening there.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee and Kentucky Fishing Report. This week's report is brought to you by Bass Mafia. If you're looking for products to secure the investment you've made in your tackle, Bass Mafia is the way to go. Check them out at mafiaoutdoors.com and find out how Bass Mafia can just, there's nothing that their boxes can't withstand to keep your tackle in the shape that you need to keep it in. So let's talk about some fishing. Tennessee and Kentucky. God, it's been beautiful. The last week the weather was great, and you know what that means this time of year? Good weather means good fishing, because when it's pretty, the water warms up, the fish move to the bank. They got one thing on their mind, and there may be kids watching this show, and we're not going to talk about that, but they are around the bank. And here's the thing, the bass, shallow square bills, lipless baits, swim baits, spinner baits, that are as good as they're going to get. You cover a lot of water, just look for hard banks, look for gravel banks, look for clay banks. Anywhere where it's flat, it's a little bit in from some deep water, and that's where they're looking to be. The crappie right now are doing the same thing, but look for shallow cover, stake beds, lay downs, stump fields. Guys, crappie fishing is really good right now. In Tennessee, Percy Priest is on fire. Reelfoot Lake's on fire. In Kentucky, Barron River and Cumberland Lake is on fire. So guys, right now is a really good time to be here. Come check us out in Tennessee and Kentucky. God bless.
One thing that's super important in this Winyah Bay area, and actually in most of your estuaries, is making sure you've got tackle that can hold up in the conditions. And what I'm dealing with here is we've got a lot of oyster rakes that are in this creek. So I'm fishing with some 20-pound braid right now on these American Hero collections. And I've also got my Carolina rigs rigged with 30-pound fluorocarbon. I've got that fluorocarbon so that it vanishes in the water, and also I've got that 30-pound so that it'll hold up and be abrasion resistant around these oysters. That way, as I'm fighting these fish and they're swimming in that shallow 6, 7, 8-inch water and rubbing up against those oysters, we're able to get that fish in the boat. Now you can see what we're fishing on. Again, we're back here in probably 7, 8 inches of water, and we're throwing these baits out there in an area that's about 3 foot deep, and these redfish are in here. There's some mullet in here. There's something for them to feed on. Oh yeah, come on, here we go. I'll tell you what, if you want to get down here and do this, my good buddy Fred Rourke of Sweet Tea Charters can take care of you and get you out here to enjoy. Look at this. Oh yes, what a nice fish. But if you'll visit sweetteacharters.com, you can get more information on my good friend Fred. Come on. Oh yeah, look at that circle hook. Isn't there good? Come here, buddy. All right. We're gonna give you some TV time real quick. Here we go, get the pliers. Let's get that circle hook out, and I'll tell you what. Come here, buddy. There we go. All right. Want to use a circle hook. It doesn't get down in their gut, but man, what a nice fish. What a nice redfish. Good old South Carolina low country. Again, we're in the Winyah Bay, Georgetown area. We're gonna get him loose. Let him swim back. Good release, good release. You know, I mentioned earlier in the show that the Bassmasters Elite is coming to town here, the Winyah Bay Hook event that will be contested here on April 7th through the 10th. Is going to be an incredible tournament, and we're literally only 10 minutes where I'm at right now from some of the best bass fishing that we have to offer in the area. These redfish are up in here. I've got a school of about 20 fish in front of me here. The water was green till we pushed the boat in there. Those fish got excited. They're feeding on some mullet and muddied up the water pretty good, but that green is the color you want to target these fish. It's easier to see them, and it's what they love. Now, the other thing about redfish, most of these fish are a little bit over slot or quite out of the slot, but what we're going to do is make sure we handle them with care, making sure that I'm not going to put them on a boga grip, hold them sideways. I'm going to make sure that this fish survives so that he can go on and produce some more fish for us to catch in the future for us and our kids. In early spring, these fish are back in these shallow areas. Come here, look at the size of this fish. We're on a school of probably about 15 to 20 fish, all in this same size, and come on, buddy. Let's go. Woo, that is a nice big old Georgetown redfish. Come on. Come on in here, baby. Come on up here. Having to slide him across the mud there. But this is typical. Buddy. And come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here. Tell you what, I'm enjoying this Lou's Tournament Inshore Series. What a great rod to fight these on. Come on. Get in there. There we go. All right. Come here, buddy. There we go. We definitely gonna take good care of him. That circle hook is right in the corner of the mouth, as it should be. Got my pliers here. Let's get that out. Come here, buddy. We only using you on TV, buddy. We're making you famous. Making you famous for all our good friends out here on Fox Sports Outdoors. Come here. Calm down. There we go. Boy, that thing is stuck in the corner of that mouth good. There we go. That is one. Whoop! Look at there. There goes a perfect release. He's off to the races. I tell you what, there's some great things going on in your body of water, and we got some wonderful reporters to share some great tips to make your day on the water better. Let's go to your reporter in your neck of the woods and see what's happening.
This part of the program is brought to you by MirrOlure, the right tools to catch them. From topwater plugs to subsurface models to deep running lures like the deadly Heavy Dean. Turn on the bite anytime. Tie on a MirrOlure. Well, warm weather along the southeast coast has really kicked off some good fishing. Captain Judy Helmy in Savannah tells me that the whiting fishing has been great in the sounds and beach areas along the Savannah coast, northeast Georgia. There's also sheepshead on some of the reefs, the nearshore reefs, and are moving inward. They're coming inshore, and there's good numbers of 3 to 5 pound sheepshead. They're taking fiddler crabs around docks, pilings, that sort of thing. The offshore fish tend to prefer fiddler crabs on jigs, 2 or 3 fiddler crabs on a jig, bouncing it up and down. Sometimes the fish finder rig works well too. In southeast Georgia, the whiting fishing also has been great. Captain Tim Cutting says the fishing has been outstanding in the sounds. Lots of limits of whiting being caught using small pieces of squid bait. Tim also says the inshore fishing for redfish has been very good. These are 3 to 8 pound fish. Sometimes they're going over 10. Most of these fish are being caught around trees and rocks. For some reason, they're not really around oyster shell bars right now, so concentrate on the trees and flooded rocks in those tidal creeks in that St. Simon's Island area. In Alabama and Mississippi, fishing has been kind of tough because of heavy rains have discolored the water. In Mississippi, Biloxi Bay is giving up some redfish, but you got to move around to find them. These are 3 to 10 pound fish. They're taking all types of baits and also lures. Fishing for ground mullet or whiting also has been good in that Biloxi area. Sometimes when the water is clear around the Barrier Island reefs, use shrimp on the bottom for those whiting. There's also some sheepshead around. There's 3 to 5 pound fish. Work the rocks, the bridges, that sort of thing. There's any kind of rubble. Sometimes oyster shells hold them. Use shrimp for bait or crab knuckles. Crab knuckles really work well. Well, that's it for the southeast coast. Get out in the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
Hey folks, it is time for your Carolinas Report this week, brought to you by the Dead Dog Saloon, located on the Marsh Walk in Merle's Inlet. Make sure you put us on your list of destinations to visit. Open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know we are the place that everybody's talking about. Come find out why they're talking about our food, our view, and our music. I'll tell you what, let's talk about the freshwater side of things, and there's a lot going on. We've got some warmer water temperatures finally, and we've got a lot more sunlight during the day with the time change. The bass are definitely in that spawn mode. Make sure you get out there, enjoy those fish. You can have a great time right now with your biggest bags of the season. Get up there with a shaky worm, get on top of those beds, and frustrate that female until she bites. Be patient, you're gonna have a great time out there. Also in the striped bass areas, I tell you what, Lake Murray, Captain Jason Bennett is sending me text messages every day about the stripers that he's catching up there. Incredible the number of fish he's catching right now, trolling live bait on planer boards back in those coves where the shad and the herring are being held right now. Also, our good buddy, Captain Joseph Dennis on Santee, says that the crappie bite at the hatchery area is incredible right now. He's catching some 3 and 4 pound fish right now using live bait on a jig head. Get out and enjoy the outdoors right now. This is the spring and it's time to get out there. This has been your Carolinas Report. Don't go anywhere. I tell you what, we're gonna be right back doing some good saltwater fishing in Georgetown, South Carolina. But for right now, let's pause for some words from our wonderful sponsors.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. Lose, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Well, a lot of times when you're in those shallow areas, these fish will get really excited and nervous. You may see 20, 30 fish and cannot get them to bite. What's happened is a lot of times we've gone into these creeks, we'll hook them to a fish. Everybody gets a little nervous. They don't want to bite, so we'll move around. Well, the tide's risen a little bit. We've moved to an area where these fish are going to be passing through. I've got a couple oyster rakes right now. We're going to throw out the mud mitt on a Carolina rig. Let them sit right there between these oyster rakes. And again, an artificial works great this time of the year. Also, a gulp, anything with a good scent. You know, a redfish a lot of times is going to eat with his nose. So having something out there with some good scent is sure to produce a good fish. Now, I'll tell you what, again, the Georgetown area is just incredible. I can sit here and have a great time just looking around, enjoying all the views and wildlife, but it is nice to get one on the end of the line and use this American Hero collection to fight a real nice low country redfish. Look at this beautiful redfish right here. Oh man. All right. These are so much fun. I joke around with all my freshwater buddies and give them a hard time about how these redfish will wear out a largemouth. And I know a lot of avid freshwater fishermen that do love coming down and doing some saltwater fishing and getting on these wonderful redfish. Come on, buddy. Here we go. All right. All right, come here. Swim on in. There we go. Now that, folks, would probably be a great tournament fish. Our slot here in South Carolina is 15 to 23 inches. And we can keep 3 fish per person. Come on, there we go. What a beautiful, beautiful redfish. Look at that. Man, that would be a great tournament fish. All right, buddy, we're gonna let you go. He's off to the races. That didn't take long at all. I tell you what, there's some great reports going on your body of water. Let's go to your reporter in your neck of the woods and see what's biting.
Welcome to the Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi Freshwater Fishing Report. This week's update is brought to you by Lake Guntersville, Alabama. Boasting 69,000 acres of clear blue perfection, the area offers hotels, lakefront cabins, public boat ramps, and restaurants. If you prefer big fish in a big pond, Guntersville is the right destination. www.fishguntersvillelake.com. Now, with the opening of April, the fishing is getting exciting throughout the 3-state region. A number of species are biting and the action is really heating up. In Georgia, the spring spawning run is in full swing for white bass. The schools of fish are moving up rivers and creeks out of the major reservoirs. They're hungry and they're readily biting. Best place to be fishing is in the current along sandbars, particularly if there are snags and rocks breaking the flow. When it comes to lures, a white jig is hard to beat. And the smaller and lighter the jig, the better it's going to work for these fish. The Little River above Altoona Lake in metro Atlanta is giving up some big stringers of whites in recent days. But don't be surprised if you hook some crappie as well. For real crappie action in North Mississippi this week, Sardis Lake near Batesville is the place to be. This 98,000 acre impoundment on the Little Tallahatchie River has given up some 3-pound slabs in recent weeks. The tailwater below Neely Henry Dam on the Coosa River at Ohatchee, Alabama is a hot spot this week for some hybrid bass. The fishing here is best from the east shore, and it's especially good when there's only one turbine running.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday night at 6, or catch the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8:30. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button, and see lots of how-to and product videos by clicking the how-to button. Also, stay up to date with the latest fishing news, videos, and photos by clicking the follow button on our Twitter feed. And get lots of that same info by clicking the like button on our Facebook page. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. Motor Guide Trolling Motors, because accuracy matters. And Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question. This week, Daryl would like to know, when should I use a trailer on a spinnerbait? We asked 2008 Bassmaster Classic champion Alton Jones for the answer.
You know, I use a trailer on a spinnerbait anytime I'm fishing it extremely slow but need to keep it up in the water column. You find this real commonly during the early spring, the pre-spawn time frame, when just the first few feet of water are warming up, and you'll find bass suspended along in standing timber, along tree limbs, right underneath floating boat docks. When those fish are suspended high in the water column, use the trailer. It'll help you keep that spinnerbait right up near the surface.
Thank you, Alton. If you have a question for one of the anglers, visit our website, follow the Ask the Pro link on the right side of the page, and let us know. Now one of our viewers wins a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner of the Costa Catch of the Week is David Rogers of Piedmont, South Carolina, with his personal best 20-pound striper caught on Clarks Hill Reservoir in South Carolina. To enter the contest, visit foxsportsoutdoors.com, then go to the right side of the page and click on the Costa Catch box. Follow the instructions and send us your big fish photo, and you could be the next winner of a new pair of Costa sunglasses. To view the entire line of Costas, simply go back to the website and click on the Costa logo. You'll see all the frame and lens styles, including the ones I'm wearing today called Tuna Alley. Hey folks, let's talk about what we're using on the show today. I tell you what, the Lew's American Hero Collection is an incredible deal. Not only is it incredible performance, but what it does is gives back to the warriors that need therapy on the water. I tell you what, with a portion of the purchases of these American Hero Collection, Lew's is going to donate rod and reels to help these warriors get out on the water. Also a combo, the new Speed Stick and the Speed Spin spinning reel. I tell you what, for saltwater inshore series, these things are incredible. They'll hold up great, and the new collaboration with Winyah grips for the grips is so comfortable on your hand. Make sure you check out Academy Sports for all these and anything else you need for the water. Well, folks, it's been my pleasure to host in place of Barry this week. He'll be back next week, but I tell you what, always fun hosting the Fox Sports Outdoor Show, and I hope you'll put Georgetown on your list of destinations to visit when you're in the South Carolina area. The incredible fisheries here can be found from freshwater to saltwater, like I said, and you need to visit sweetteacharters.com to get more information on how to fish with my good buddy, Captain Fred Rourke, who will put you on the fish here. Also, I want to thank Marshall's Marine so much for supplying us with the Tracker Pro 175 team that we use to get over and meet Captain Fred to target those redfish. It's been an incredible pleasure hosting the Fox Sports Outdoor Show for you. We'll be back next week, and remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.